Welcome to the Wild Podcast, a podcast exploring what it means to be human, with curiosity and wonder. I'm your host, Robyn Harris, and in each episode, I sit down with inspiring guests for relaxed, honest conversations about life, well-being, and the experiences that shape us. Together, we'll explore the questions which don't always have simple answers, learning to trust ourselves a little more, listening to the wisdom of our bodies, embracing uncertainty, and discovering what becomes possible when we approach ourselves and life with curiosity, compassion, and connection. This isn't a podcast about having all the answers. It's an invitation to wonder, to explore, and perhaps to recognize a little of your own story in ours. So, make yourself comfortable and let's begin. Welcome to this, the very first episode of the Wild Podcast. Although this is the beginning of Wild, it isn't actually where the story began. For the past 15 months or so, I've been hosting a podcast called VIG, which stood for Vulnerability, Introspection and Growth. I loved those conversations. They gave me the opportunity to explore what it means to be human with some fascinating people, and I learned a huge amount along the way. But my own work has evolved. And as it has, I realised that VIG no longer quite captured the conversations I wanted to have. So the podcast has evolved too. Welcome to Wild. Wild is about approaching life with wonder, intuition, loving ourselves, and dancing with life. It's about curiosity, compassion, connection, and self-trust. It's about listening within and becoming curious about what we discover. It's about being willing to sit with uncertainty rather than needing to find a definitive answer. And it's about relationship with ourselves, with each other, with our bodies, with nature, and with life itself. Most of all, it's about dancing with the questions. So, these aren't going to be conversations where I necessarily have all the answers, or where my guests do either. They're conversations where we simply get curious, where we explore different perspectives, where we ask questions, and sometimes change our minds, perhaps seeing something differently by the end of the conversation than we did at the beginning. And because Wild has grown out of VIG, I don't want to lose those earlier conversations either. If you're discovering the podcast for the first time, you might want to go back and explore the VIG episodes too. You'll find them here on the same channel alongside the Wild Conversations. And if you have a suggestion of someone who might make a great guest, I would love to hear from you. You can use the link below to apply to be a guest yourself, or feel free to forward it to someone you think I should talk to. So, whatever has brought you here, you are most welcome. I'm Robyn, and this is the beginning of the Wild Podcast. Let's see where the conversations take us. Thank you for joining me for this episode of the Wild Podcast. I hope our conversation has sparked a little curiosity, offered a fresh perspective, or simply reminded you you're not alone in navigating this wonderfully complex experience of being human. If you've enjoyed listening, I'd love it if you'd subscribe,
leave a review, or share the podcast with someone who might enjoy exploring these conversations too. Until next time, keep listening to yourself, to your body, to nature, and to life. Stay curious, stay wonderful, and keep embracing the wonderful, intuitive, loving dance of life.